Hey guys, and welcome back. Hopefully you've watched the first part of this video where we show you how to set up your canvas in Fusion. This video is going to be on how to set up your tubing and actually make your first cuts. So let's go ahead and get started. If you've already seen the other video, you will know how to set up this canvas. If you haven't already seen it, please go back and watch. So now, once we have our Fusion canvas set up, we need to take a look at these numbers here. So in this case, it's going to have two notches. I have a notch on this side and a notch on this side. On your cut wrapper, you'll see a number here. It says 27 inches distance to end. So what that means is if we're notching this side, we need our center line dot to be 27 inches from this end to here. And that's what that dot there is. Then if you go to your other cut wrapper, you'll see we have one that says the same thing, 27 distance to end. All I did was measure from here to here and put a dot, and that was 27 inches. Now you wanna make sure those dots are exactly on the center line. So it's a good idea to get you something like this, which is just a center line finder. Just slot this over the tubing and pop a dot, and then go to the other side and do the same. That's how you can quickly find your center line. So once we have both of our center line dots in place, we're just about ready to cut. One other thing we need to do in Fusion before we move over to fire control is we need to measure from this perpendicular intersection here to the outside edge of our actual cutting profile. So this is easy to do. We just create a new sketch and draw a line from here to here. And then we just need to measure that line. A quick way to do that is just click the line and look in the bottom corner here. So it's 1.189 inches. So once you have that measurement, you need to remember it. So we're gonna go ahead and open up fire control. And this is where we're gonna line up our torch with our center line dot that we made earlier. So all we're gonna do here is raise our torch up so that it's not gonna hit the tubing. Once we know that it's up and it's gonna clear the tube, we just jog it over in place. So I just learned a cool feature is if you press tab, it'll put you automatically in 16th step. And then each time you tap the arrow keys, it just barely moves the torch. Our torch is exactly in line with our dot. It's hard to tell, but it is. Back to the measurement you took earlier. This measurement here is very important because if we were to cut right now, it's gonna start from this dot. We don't want that. This is just where we line up our center line. We want this location. So we're just gonna go into fire control here. And then in the x-axis, we're just gonna type in that number, 1.189, and then press set. Now we need to come over here and click go to work 0. And you'll see that will have moved us to our new cutting position. That is exactly where we want to start our cut. It's a good idea to do a dry run before you do this, just to make sure that the torch isn't gonna run into anything. Yep, dry run successful. Press close, and then we can just go back to work 0. So now we're ready to cut. Okay, so once your tubing has been cut, all you need to do is just take a pair of pliers and bend off that. There we go. We have a notched piece of tubing. Now it's not exactly perfect. You can see it didn't line up exactly. That's just from our initial pierce. But, I mean, you can easily grind that down and work with that. So once you're ready to cut your other end, basically do the exact same thing. Just flip the tubing around, line up your dot there, move it the 1 inch or whatever the distance was on your notch, and then run it. There you go. Both sides of your tube have been notched in relation to each other based off that center line we did earlier, and you never had to even pull out an angle grinder. Hope this helps some of y'all. If you have any questions, please let me know. That's pretty much it. Have a good one.